Hi, Tonia. I'm excited to inform you that we would like to bring you in for an interview for the child care attendant opportunity 5 hours ago. I'm back at a very familiar place that I used to work at, but the timing wasn't right. But now it is, and I'm back, and I am hoping that I get a job here because I really did like it here. Well, the interview went well, and I thought I would just come here to get something to eat. I don't know why when I go places, usually it's like nobody else is there. Maybe I just need some time alone. I don't know. Just gonna give me something to drink. Drinking my favorite drink, lemonade. It went really well. She said, I looked and I didn't see any record of you, and I just wasn't for sure if you're mixing me up with another location or another job. And I was like, no, it's childhood, but it's just like in a different section. And she's like, oh, because I looked it up, I didn't see any record of it. And I was like, maybe I shouldn't have said anything. Because I did kind of leave on kind of wasn't seeing eye to eye with the main teacher. And I'm like, well, she's the main teacher, I'm just an assistant. But I still feel like there's a certain way I should be treated, and I'm just not feeling great about this connection here. I didn't say anything negative about it, but I did tell her this past year I, worked on myself a lot, and I left it at that. She told me what the pay was, and then I asked her if she could just ask if I can get the same pay as I had last time. But the thing is, it's a totally different job, so I don't expect to necessarily get that pay, but I do want more than what they were offering. We'll see what happens. Aloha. I made it back to Kansas City, and it feels good to be home. I just completed my interview, and I feel real good about it. The interview went great, and I'm just going to declare right now, Monday, I'll hear that I got the job. I got the job. Yay! I'm so happy. I work Monday through Friday, 12:30 to 6. No complaints whatsoever. I love going to work. I'm excited. Well, hello. Late night evening in the office. I'm just reading an email, and would you not know it? Exactly 5 hours ago, I got another job interview. Yes. I filled out the application this morning. Can I tell you, just applying for a job these days, honey, they want to know everything. Even if they want to pay you $10 an hour. I mean, they want your resume, they want cover letter, they want all your jobs for the past 7 years. I tell you, I'm like, for $10 an hour, you'd be happy I just give you my name and my address. But anyway, I filled it out. I got a reply, and I'm happy about that. And so I'm going to tell them when I'm available for an interview. Who knows? Maybe I could work both these jobs, But whichever one calls me. So right now I am in the parking lot at the place I just applied for my second job. The first one I didn't hear back from, but it's okay. I really need to get myself rooted. I really need to see where I fit and what I need to be doing. Now, I have tried the avenues of what I've always wanted to do as a child, but I realized that door just wasn't opening for me. And for me to want to do that, it's just like people wanting to be in the NFL. It's like a slim chance that might happen, although it is possible. So I stopped trying to get myself to do this work that I just always imagine myself like one day somehow perhaps I could possibly. And I said, but every time I apply for childcare, I've always gotten it. Well, I guess I can't say I got every childcare job I've applied for, considering the job I applied for just prior to this one. Not that I'm trying to take the easy route, because my early 20s, I really didn't think I would be great at childcare. But one thing led to another, and people would ask me to either mentor their kids or babysit their kids. And I just fell in love with working with children. And so here it is, another childcare job. So I walked in, and I met the lady, and I was like, we're dressed alike. And then I was like, we almost dressed alike. And so we went to the back, and then we did the interview. And just being myself, she's like, I think you have really good energy, and energy is really important. And I said, energy is everything. Sometimes you just never really know how a person sees you, because you could portray yourself one way and somebody could see you totally different. But when people see me as I am or remind me the good things about me, I really appreciate it. And so when she said that, I just felt really good about myself. And so I asked her, I said, what do you look for when you're wanting to hire somebody? Like, what are your deciding factors, you know? And then she talked about energy and then getting along with people. Because, I mean, there's jobs that I got, but then when I got behind the scenes, it was different from what I expected. I didn't quite get along with everybody. And so I'm just like, how do the people really get along behind the scenes? And that's why I do like jobs where I'm not working around a lot of people, just to be honest with you. I do kind of tend to keep to myself a little bit because I know how I am. I'm not somebody who quite overlooks a lot of things, although I'm trying to get to that point where I'm like, I ain't gonna even say nothing. I'm gonna ignore that. I'm gonna let that go. I'll come back to that another time. So I'm really kind of getting to that point, but I really just rather work somewhere where it's drama free. People are respectful. People don't think they're better than the next person. People don't think they're less than the next person. And like, we really are a team. And so when she told me like the ratios of children and the hours, oh my God. When I was talking about I work from 12:30 to 6, honey, I ain't working that many hours anymore. I'm happy about that. So to just be able to do something for a few hours, because I do have something that I'm working on, yes, because this place is built on Christian principles. I asked, in which ways do you uphold those Christian principles? She talked about kindness and just like the way they treat people, and if people wanted to pray before a meeting, they could, but of course you don't want to, you know, alienate people from other religions. But if somebody had a problem with prayer, then they could step aside, they could step outside until the prayer is over. And then she said there's actually a men's Bible study like in the morning once a week, and they've been having it for a long time. And I thought to myself, wow, do they have a women's Bible study? And then she said, not yet. And I was like, I like that, you know. And so who knows, like, what if for me, just going to work every day to me wasn't enough. And when I was in the military, I actually didn't like my job. That's the biggest testimony that I have as far as career goes and purpose and everything. I did not like my job in the military. I was not very good at it, but I kept pressing forward. When I would get discouraged, you know, I had a friend who told me, like, Tonia, it's not even about your job, it's about your faith. And at that point, I started saying, you know, I need to walk by faith more than, like, stop taking these attacks personal and just really walk by faith. Even though I wasn't that great at it, I wanted to become great at it. And so I just started depending on the scripture, like, God's grace is sufficient. And I tried to read those career development courses. I just couldn't get into it. I didn't really care about getting promoted. I really just wanted to do my job well. And I was like, when you test for promotion, you test for your job and you test for military history. So I really wasn't a great student, you know, like when I was in high school, in college, or in the military, you know. And so it's just like, but one thing I do know, I'm passionate about the Word of God. And so I just like want to serve my community in different areas, and I would volunteer outside the military job so that I can find some type of fulfillment. And, you know, I would be doing, you know, Bible studies when I was deployed to kind of find some type of joy in my work. You know, I always had a community of people when I deployed, and then like different churches, I always had a community. I kept walking by faith in the military when I wasn't great. I always volunteered to enjoy myself while I was serving. And now that I'm out of the military, I'm still blessed with the provision of being retired. And I am basically working, serving my community. It's crazy. Like, I basically just serve my community. And so I was like, I want to, you know, work where I need to work. So it wasn't about how much money I was making. Not about doing something great, but doing every little thing great. You know what I mean? So yes, not saying I'm giving up on that one big dream I always had, but you know what? I just do this other stuff in between. And if that ever happens to find me, that'd be great. But it's not that I'm gonna go after anymore. Like, I'm gonna give it one more shot. And then after this last shot, then that's just gonna be it. Cause like some things are gonna happen just because it's meant to happen. I'm just gonna do what the Bible says. I'm gonna seek first the kingdom of God like I've been doing. And work with my hands, mind my own business, and live a quiet life. That's actually in the Bible. Like, work with your hands, mind your own business, and live a quiet life. I can say I do that very, very well. So, not giving up on that inner child desire, but I got real life to live. And so, like, I'm going to give back to my community. And just to know that the thing that I found fulfillment in the military as a side thing, not the main thing, because my job was the main thing, but just to know that what I found joy in as a side job is my main job now. It's crazy. So somebody asked me the other day, they're like, you couldn't get out of supply? Like when I was in the military, people were cross-training left and right. I said, that's the whole part of my testimony, honey. God was trying to teach me to be still and know that he's God, knowing that he could see me through this. Like there was a bigger lesson to learn than me moving to someplace I would have liked better or would have been more comfortable at or even done better at. It was more so that, so what, you're not good at it, I could work through you. So that's the bigger lesson. So here I am now, no worries, no stress, you know, not dealing with drama, you know, with other people's issues, not bringing my issues to work, resolving my unresolved issues. And it's just a good place to be, because like we're in the month of August, the 8th month. That's the new beginning, number one. And then August 1st, that's 7 years of me being out of the military. That gave me 7 years to really work on me, you know, to really build myself up to where I need to be. So I feel great. Yes. And I can actually say I'm making a difference in the life of children. So I'm quite content with that. And we'll just see what God has in store for me, because I really want to get myself planted. Well, the lady already told me today, she said, well, you pretty much got the job. I just have to get the background check and everything. And so and so and so and so. I said, well, I would be just so honored to work here. I'm so excited. And so, yeah, they've been good to me. So now it's just time for me to give back to the community in my little way that I could give back. So that brings me a lot of joy. And so, yeah, that's all I have to say. So I'm not officially hired yet. Oh my goodness, but when she told me I had good energy, that made me just want to go to my favorite restaurant on the plaza to get something to eat, because I'm going to treat myself to some cheesecake, because I like to hear that. So I just went to Google and I found this place called High Aspirations, and I'm coming here for mentoring. I think it's going to be a great fit. So I have it printed instead of email because I just want you to look at it, and then like whatever you like or don't like, I can just change, and then I'll email it to you.
Okay. Is that for
the mentor script?
Okay, so
don't read it out loud.
You don't read it out loud for your recording?
No, for Marcus, I don't want him to hear it.
Well, you're gonna send it to me?
Well, you're gonna change what you don't like, and I'm gonna update it, and then I'll send it to both of you.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I already talked about it. Yeah. I followed your talking points.
You can put up here HA5 step line annual completion.
Okay.
Because the completion is really, it's two parts. It's the completion of his new goals, and then it's the renewal of his old goals. So if you haven't been here before, you're not renewing anything, because you're just doing it the first time.
Exactly. New mentee. New mentee.
It was this one. So that one was for the new mentee.
Okay. Marcus, did you do anything for Juneteenth? You weren't working. It was Saturday.
No, I did work.
Oh, you did?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right. Y'all do work Saturdays. Right.
Yeah,
That's true. You're like, that's what this whole program is about. We work on Saturdays.
But yeah, counselors, if you're a late counselor, a special word for you, because really,
Working late in the office again. But this is also a part of me minding my business. Because minding your business means minding your business. And I'm just getting a little bit of online training so that I could mind my business.
A emerging field of positive psychology and courage, to build courage. And that's the difference in Christian life coaching. We're coming alongside to build courage to people. They already feel like that they've screwed up. They already feel like a failure. We're coming alongside to say, what can we learn from that failure? And that's really a difference. But let's go back to the historical roots, because When we go back into the 1990s, there's some names that people, as they're learning to become a coach, there's some names they need to know. Names like Thomas Leonard and names like Patrick Williams, and individuals who helped found some of these organizations like the International Coaching.
Speaking of my job search, I am out working early today. Look at me. Yes, that's because I have an interview this afternoon, so I'm going to get all ready for that in just a minute. But I wanted to check my email, and I also got to thinking about the second job I applied for. I didn't follow back up with the first job because I just felt like that was a means to an end. I didn't feel like that's where I needed to be. So I think that place was just to let me know that that position was available, because I was unaware that the position existed. I was unaware of even where it was at inside the building. Like I said, I had worked in one section, but I wasn't aware of this other section. And why would I be? I don't take my kids there. So I applied somewhere else, and it has been a week, but I thought a week is not really that long. But when they wanted my references, I sent my references out. I gave them the information, they contacted them, and my references have all responded. And it's like, I filled out the application, I went on an interview, I completed the references and the background check. Yeah, I'm gonna call and check on them, that my time is precious. I went through all that. I sat through the interview for about 30 minutes. And so the least they could do is tell me what the status is. So I called the lady, and she's like, oh, let me call so-and-so right away, right now. I hadn't heard anything back with the background check, but let me call them right now and I'll give you a call back. So I'm waiting to hear back from her. I have another interview. Basically, I got hired over the phone already. He basically just told me to come in to finish the process. See, that's what I mean when I say some things are just chance. So another friend of mine who has like been my reference forever when I'm looking for a job, she had this idea for me to do something for her from home. And so she shot me the idea. I calculated what she was offering, and then I countered her and sent her another asking cost, and we agreed. And I'm just gonna be, she sent me the money like in advance. God is so good. That is so crazy. But it's something I could do from home naturally, and cause she's a friend, I wasn't trying to like charge too much. And so yeah, we really agreed to something I'm happy with, that she's happy with, and you know, I started right away because it's things I do naturally. Making an offer to me got my mind thinking about a different position that I've never worked. So I told the man, like, I just have like personal experience. I don't have any professional experience in this area. And I said, but I don't think you'll have anything to worry about. And so I didn't send any references because I've never done a job like this before. But basically, he sent me the application, and I didn't go into depth with it because he had already told me this is my normal starting rate, but this is what I'll start you at. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, when are you available for an interview? And I told him, you know, pretty much tomorrow. And then this was yesterday. And he goes, okay. So I set the time, and then he told me how long I would be there. And I'm gonna let him know what hours are good for me, because I counted all that up to see what hours I could work at this job. The good Lord blessed me to be retired for a reason, not just to go back and work. And so I give a lot of my time volunteering in the community. And so I can remember one of my friends asking me, like, what do I do? And a cousin, and just people in general, asked me, like, so girl, what do you do? And I'm just like, I wake up, I pray, I have some coffee, I may go to the gym, I help out here, I help out there, I clean my house. They were like, wow. And I'm like, it's not necessarily the life. Like, I want to work. It's just like, I want to make sure I'm working in the right place at the right time with the right people. And so to me, that's the biggest blessing. I could be a little bit more picky. And so when I was telling my one friend how, like, I volunteer here, I volunteer there, she was like, he knows who to give it to. Like, saying, like, yeah. And I'm like, well, what would you do? What would you do if you had all the money that you needed, all your needs were met, you weren't in debt, you didn't owe anybody anything except to love them? What would you do? And I think that's what you should do then, because that's what you were really created to do. And if you can't do it now, I think that's what you should work towards. And so, yeah, I'm working towards those things that I would do regardless of money. And so even if I had all the money in the world, I'm doing what I would be doing, you know. And then I told you that one goal that I want, I'm still working towards that. So Yeah, my life is really looking up. I'm really glad. And 7 years, yeah, 7 years. Like in the Bible, I think it was like 7 years of famine, 7 years of harvest. So I think these last 7 years I have really been planting and sowing, and I think now it's time to reap. I'm looking forward to the next 7 years. All right, I just got that phone call I was telling you about, and things are moving right along. I might be working as early as next week. Hello, Tonia. Congratulations on your new position! Exclamation point. We are happy to have you as part of the team and are looking forward to your first day. Yeah. So exciting. And who knows, for the job interview that I'm going on in just a minute, I may start work as early as Friday. So I'm waiting in the break room right now to complete my interview. We'll see what happens. It seems like it's all happening at once, but that's how it is. Well, look at me. Got the badge. That means I'm in there. I don't know, it's just the little things in life.